EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Acrisure Stadium on the north shore of the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ready to get us started, it's Cade York. And with the terrible towels waving wildly, we are underway from Pittsburgh. This taken in at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
They turn to Harris to begin the drive. Runs over, and he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Lance now on first down. Got an open man. It's Pickens. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
On first and 10, here's Lance. That's complete to his tight end flyer move. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. The Steelers at 7-6, a game over 500 on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
On the set. Ready.
Off of play action, here's Lance. He's got his tight end Fryermuth over the middle. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Now a second down and 6. The Lance going to throw. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Excellent work there by Lance as he scrambles for the first down.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a first down.
Ready.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Ready.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now here's another carry for Harris. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, Lance. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. Well, they started the drive backed up pretty deep, but a nice effort to overcome the field position, get into field goal range on the game's opening possession.
And, Brandon, I think from where they started, the initial thought was, can we get 1 or 2 first downs and help out our defense after we pump the ball away with field position? But as that drive went on, I think their sights got set a little bit higher. They were thinking touchdown, ended up settling in between and coming away with a field goal.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Faking the give. Now Watson. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
52.
Now Lance on the bootleg. Rolling to his right. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
The partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And they run with Harris off the option. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now in the ballgame.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. They'll run again with Harris. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
They'll try the right side with Harris. A nice display of power, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Here's Lance to throw it. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. Here's another first and goal, but from a little further back this time following the penalty. They'll try to run with Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
$10-0 to score after one on EA Sports. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on third down, Watson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Taken in at the 3. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Browns drive about to get started. They are back over the 500 mark for the season. Got there with a win a week ago. Their second straight victory.
But they've definitely...
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And Lance now to throw. That's going to be caught by Pickens. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
And the ball on the 30, here's 2nd and 4. A run with Harris. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Throwing now is Lance. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
On 1st down, Lance. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to have it here at their own 15. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
The Browns drive about to get started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Another good run there. He's been good all season long. I don't know if he's going to win that MVP award, but just to be in the discussion, obviously that means he's had a great run.
The raw numbers put him in the discussion. Can he carry his team to enough victories? Can he put them in a spot where we say to ourselves, well, an MVP carries his team to the playoffs. That's what he's going to need in order to get that award.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Wheeler. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. To throw is Watson. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 49 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. T.J. Watt, that is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot, and here another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
After the sack on 1st down, Watson. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Here's Watson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Now Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns. York able to send this one through, and they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular, if they can bounce. There he goes, left side. He's at the 40, past the 20, and all the way down to the 10-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 65 yards on the ground. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game, and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Shotgun now for Lance. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. It'll be a gain of 5, And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Lance looking to throw it. It's brought in by Harris. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Still going inside the 30. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Cleveland. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blower when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, with not much time, we'll see how they play this. And some room to roam now. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A final shot before half for Lance. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing.
He's got a man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's nearly a 40-yard gain on the opening play of the quarter. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big, big gain.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Chubb on the counter. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Out of the gun, Watson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns. York able to send this one through. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. And let's get the ball back for us.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They'll start the drive with Harris. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Lance. And this is incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Lance. Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens. And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Harris running straight ahead. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Here we go.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. An option handoff given to Harris. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Ready?
To throw, it's Lance. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Leonard Williams busting through to get him for a loss of 6. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. If you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
This is caught, and they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Looking to throw. Lance. Open man is Johnson. Touchdown Steelers. Deontay Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead now up to 14. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. On 2nd and 9, Watson. And his throw here is incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. Now it's Watson. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
On the give, this is Harris. And he's got some space here. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Ready.
And they run with Harris off the option. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 154 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Second and 11. Operating from the gun. Lance. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Greg Newsome. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Extra point by York is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And now this fourth quarter becoming very interesting. That pick six makes this a one-score game. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be. And now off to the races down the right side. 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead is up to 14. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. The Browns drive about to get started. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Throwing to start the drive, but that went incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all. And it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
The Browns on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Watson. And that is incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And now Watson throws another interception. Picked up by Micah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They hand this off to Harris. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They run again with Harris.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 239 yards rushing for him so far in this one as he nears 1,400 for the year. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Ready?
On the ground, it's Harris. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Here we go.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Harris. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. They get 8 yards back there. They could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
The Browns' drive about to get started.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Devin Bush able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
The one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Watson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. A give to Harris. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Meanwhile, Lance is throwing to the hands of Pickens.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball,
pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown.
Najee Harris
with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 15 on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And again, it's Chubb.
And he's going to have a Browns 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
And Chubb will try the middle here.
Down to the 42, 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll try the air now with Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Pittsburgh, they're not going to go quietly here as the win moves them now to 8-6 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Browns, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.